For years, I have been printing and painting models on the YouTube, and it has been a long time since I made a video for absolute beginners. So today I'm going to tell you what I would buy if I were to start the hobby all over again and avoid being a total schmuck. If you start searching on Amazon for some 3D printers and you are finding it overwhelming, well, I've got a couple of insights to give you that might make it easier to make your first choice. I often get messages asking me what printer do I think that somebody should buy, and usually my response to that would be a Frozen Sonic Mini 8KS. This is because it is a 3D printer and it is very cheap. It is usually under 300 bucks, and this means that you can get started printing. Now, of course, this is a small build plate, so you are going to struggle with the larger models, but it is a start, and a start is all you need. I do want to mention though that if you do have a small printer and you print it consistently every day, you would be able to keep up with most of the time what your printer can print. However, we start getting bigger, like for example the S4U and the M7 Pro, well then this machine is going to start outprinting the speed of which you can paint your models. And so I just highlight that because, of course, don't feel bad if all you can afford is the smaller printer. This is a printer and it can still do the things that you see on my channel. It just means you'll have to do them a little bit slower than the other larger, bigger brother printers. And these printers are the next step of what I would suggest if you were looking for something a little bit bigger and you had a slightly deeper pocket than what the Mini 8K could afford you. Now, these bigger brother printers usually run around 500-ish. It depends on when you find deals, and of course I'm going to try to find the best deals I can currently find for you and leave a link for those in the description of this video. This will of course give a small kickback to the channel while you get yourself a fancy gadget at no extra cost. Now, of course, there are different levels to this whole thing, and there are low-end printers and high-end printers. This doesn't mean one is better or worse than the other. However, there is different areas of things, much like Apple versus Samsung. And my preference for 3D printers is the Uniformation printers, and specifically at the moment, the Uniformation GK3 Pro is one of my favorites. But don't let the Pro word confuse you, and the Uniformation GK3 will just be perfectly adequate enough. If you'd like more information on the GK3 and you're a bit confused about what's going on with the TP Pro Plus, well then check the link in the top corner here. Now, if you're buying a 3D printer, of course, you're going to be told you need multiple things, and in fact you do. One of the most important things is to clean your prints after they come out of the printer, and for this you would be told you need a washing station. However, I can tell you for a fact that just a Tupperware will do just as fine as a washing station. Now, of course, if you're doing this on a budget, the Tupperware is going to work perfectly for you. You do need isopropyl alcohol to put in that, and that's going to be the easiest way to wash your prints. Now, the easiest way to cure these prints is going to be sticking them in your back garden and letting the sun do its job by swaddling them with UV light all over the place. However, this will take longer and will be annoying, especially when it is not sunny. If you live in a country like I do, that means I can cure 3 days a year, which is a problem. So the only thing you will really definitely need is a curing station. This can be done in multiple ways. Of course, a cure station will make it easier to cure your parts, but I, for at least a year and a half, cured everything that I did using a nail bar UV curing machine. This is literally just some LED lights inside of a thing that my wife would use to cure the nails on her fingers, and it works perfectly fine for 3D prints. So you've got your printer and you've got your isopropyl alcohol and a bucket to clean everything in, as well as a miniature sun in a box to cure everything with. You're gonna need some resin to actually print, and in my case I prefer Sunlu, and the reason I prefer this is only because it's cheap. I've heard and noticed that this is rather expensive for those of you in the US of the A. Now, the thing that isn't expensive is this one, Anycubic Basic. I will just say both of these are standard resins, so they are brittle, and it means if you drop it, it's gonna break. And you don't want broken models because that makes you a sad person. So in order to fix that, you need to buy an ABS lock, which is kind of awkward because I did say this was standard on this side, but when it comes here, it's obviously ABS lock. This is a stretchier, bendier resin. I can tell you for a fact, if you print directly in ABS lock, in my opinion, is a bad idea. Only because if you live in a warm climate, your model will slowly start to bend over as time goes, and you're gonna have a sad time. So what I do is I mix this into the standard resin. bar taking a little bit of this and pouring it into the bottle. Essentially, you open this bottle, fill it up with ABS like. This gives you the hybrid resin of cheapness, the best one that you can 3D print and throw your models around and they will still break, but they will break a little bit less than if you had to just print in standard resin alone. So you've printed some models, you've cleaned them and you've cured them in your nail bar. Now it's time to make that model look nice and fancy. So of course, we're going to need to prime that model before we can paint it. And this is so that the paint will stick better to your model rather than just directly onto the resin. Now I have done a video where I painted a model completely skipping the entire primer process, and this is totally possible. If you are penny pinching and you're trying not to spend too much money, just paint directly on the bare resin. No one cares. It doesn't matter while you're learning. Now, if you are wanting to prime your model, there are multiple ways to do this, and it depends where you live, but you can get paint in a spray paint form from your hardware store, which will work perfectly fine. However, my choice is to use this Chaos Black, which costs a small mortgage, but it paints very well and it covers the model and it just sits in the crevasses and cracks like a very nice tight glove. And this is why I prefer using this. The next step you will need is to give your model a zenithal highlight, or in my case, a volumetric highlight. And to do that with, you are going to need a white ink. And I say white ink because white ink is the best, most saturated white you'll ever get. I will tell you, you can get a cheap one from the art store, but it is not the same as something like this. This is so much more powerful and it actually covers the model. The one from the art store will do the job with about 17,000 coats, meaning you're going to use more paint anyway, and this is going to be much cheaper in the long run. Now, this part of the video is going to be slightly controversial, and that is because I'm going to suggest for you to buy yourself an airbrush. And this is because if you're painting large-scale statues, it's going to make your life so much easier than trying to do this with a brush. I've been doing this for a very long time and I can totally paint it with a brush all alone, but I'm not mental. And if you yourself don't want to be mental or a schmuck, well then you're probably looking at something like this, which is a great start for a beginner to get a little itty bitty compressor with a really cheap airbrush just to get you going while you're learning the ropes. And when you get further into it, you can upgrade to something like the Iwata, which is that one. Now, if you do decide to buy an airbrush, there is going to be at least two things I'm going to say that you have to have in order to do this. One is this thing. This holds your airbrush and also allows you to empty whatever is left in your airbrush cup into here so you can clean out for fast and quick, easy color changes. Of course, there is one more thing, and this is a tiny little pick, which is what you use to clean out the little nozzle on your airbrush. And without this, I probably couldn't do my job. And just as a reminder, everything that I mentioned in this video can be found in the description, so make sure to go and check out if you're missing one of these pieces to add to your collection. And like I said, this will give the channel a small kickback, but I also want to say, if you found it anywhere else for cheaper, buy it there. You don't have to use my links. I really don't care. I just want you to have a good hobby and enjoy doing the thing that I really enjoy doing too. Now, of course, we have a model and we have the apparatus for which we are going to paste the paint onto the top of the model with, but we're going to need some paint to put inside of that apparatus. And for me, you can tell I have rather a large collection of paints. Let me tell you honestly though, I'll probably use one of those racks and the rest are just for show. Because I'm a content creator, it looks really cool. That is an actual lie. What it is that when you start buying paints, you're going to become addicted and you're going to buy every paint you could ever imagine, because every single model you paint requires a different color for you to paint that model. And thus you start building a collection of paints bigger than your mum. But before we get too involved in that, because that would be an entire video all on its own, I want to mention that I like specific kinds of paints. And the paint that I prefer to use is Vallejo Model Color. I'm going to link a massive set of all these paints. If you are rich, you can buy this. If you are not rich, you can just buy a couple of colors. Singly, they are not that expensive on their own, and these bottles will last you quite a long time. And then when it comes to the shades and contrast that I use, which I use usually from Citadel. Unfortunately, I cannot link these on Amazon because Amazon doesn't sell these in most cases. And if they do, it's not available in your area and it's not available in mine. Who knows what's going on at this point, but you will probably have to find somewhere else to buy these. I will give you a link to a company that does sell them out of UK. So if you are prepared, you can go check out that link and you can buy 99% of these colors from that link as well, and they will ship to you in the US if that's where you are. So you've got your airbrush and you've got your primer layers and your base coats on your model, and it's looking spiffing, but now you need to paint some of those fine little details. Of course, you are gonna need some brushes, and this is another area where things can start getting a little bit pricey, unfortunately. However, you can totally start out with some synthetic brushes, and these will do the job most of the time. They won't last as long and they might not hold as sharp of a point, but you will get used to painting with a squonk point and it will work out in the end. You're probably going to paint squonk first anyway, so it doesn't really matter too much just yet. As you get more comfortable though, you're going to want something like a Kolinsky Sable, and this can come from multiple different brands. I'm going to link something, whichever I can find, and you can decide for yourself what suits you and your budget better. Now, while a brush can give you some really great fine details, you're going to want to pick up some of the textures on your model, and to do that you're probably going to need a dry brush. Now this can be one of too many things. Basically you can just go to the shop or your wife's makeup set and steal one of the brushes there. Don't steal the brush from the shop though. Let's not get into that. But you can also get something like the Artist Opus brushes, which I will tell you from experience are actually fantastic for doing dry brushing very nicely, and if that's something you like, there will be a link for those as well. Now you don't need this next thing, but in my opinion you definitely need this next thing. There is many ways of painting, and on the internet you will find many different techniques and many opinions about this. In my opinion, a wet palette is a non-question for me. You cannot paint if you don't have this, because if it's hot you're going to have rocks and you cannot paint with rocks. It's as simple as that. I sell this one for £23, and that is because I'm a schmuck and I don't know how to do business. However, if you look online, there will be a link for you to find one. It may be a little bit more pricey, but this is something that will last forever. You never replace this thing ever. Well, now you are pretty set up for making yourself your own models in your house that you can print and paint. Of course, you've got a large learning curve ahead of you, and there are many resources for that on the internet. One of the next important things you're going to need is probably models, and there are Patreons for this. I would like to mention that I have a Patreon, and on my Patreon I have produced one model for the last few months. So of course this is a singular model that you can watch a video on my channel on exactly how I painted that model, as well as some behind the scenes and extra content on that model in my Patreon. I will leave a link for that in the description as well. Now of course, for legal reasons, I do need to say that none of this is financial advice, and if you are on a budget, well then you're going to need to look for yourself whether you can find a better deal than what I have managed to find for you. The next thing I want to say is that I want to say a massive thank you, of course, to anyone who watches my videos, but very importantly a thank you to my patrons, because without them the lights wouldn't blind my eyeballs and keep me doing this weird thing that we call a job. And as with every video that I make, I just want to reiterate a very important thing about me personally, and that is, if you didn't like this video or anything that you saw in this video, I don't care. And this is a very good time for you to now kindly fuck off.